Yo, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why you should bet on yourself, why you should trust yourself and take a chance doing your own thing. And this applies to some people. Maybe there's some people that, in the context of what I'm talking about, is, earning money, earning your financial resources. And what I mean by betting on yourself is to start that business, to start that side hustle, to start that experiment of making your own money on your own terms. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are doing jobs, bullshit jobs, jobs that they hate, jobs that they don't like doing. And the only reason they stay there is because it's comfortable, because maybe they're afraid to leave. I understand this. I was at a job before what I do now for 5 or 6 years. Now, I didn't hate my job at all, but definitely, I was not exactly happy. I knew I wanted to do something else. I knew I wanted to take a chance doing something on my own. I just didn't know what at the time. Only until I left did it the idea came of starting a window washing business. I saw YouTube videos and I saw one particular video that really inspired me. And then I committed to going and trying that business idea, putting it into practice. And now I built a small business and it's paying me enough to live my life, and it's growing, and it's wonderful because, I make money on my own terms, my own schedule. I don't have anyone that tells me what to do. And there's a lot of pros like that, a lot of flexibility, but then it comes with a lot more responsibility. If you don't work, if you don't hustle, if you don't provide great service, then you're not going to make money. And if you don't make money, then you're going to have to go get a job. So if you're going to do your own thing, you have to be a self-starter. You have to be the kind of person, or you have to become the kind of person that you can motivate yourself to take action. Because if you can't, then you're not going to last when you start to do your own thing. You're going to burn out. You're going to quit. Because when you're starting anything on your own, it's going to come with a lot of failure, a lot of rejection. And if you can't stomach that, then you're not going to last. So, yeah, basically. But like I said, this video is I'm encouraging anybody out there who wants to do their own thing, who wants to take a chance, maybe start a business, maybe start a YouTube channel, side hustle. Take the leap. Take the leap. And you don't necessarily have to quit your job. No. You can still work your job and maybe just test out a business idea when you're not working. When you're on your day off, your 2 days off for an hour, 2 hours, test it out. Whatever it is you want to do, whether it's flipping, whether it's, pressure washing or window cleaning or dog walking or whatever you want to do, test it. Do a micro experiment, run a test and see if you actually could do what you want to do. Validate the idea before you commit to something fully. Because if you don't validate the idea, and what I mean by validating the idea was make sure the idea works on a small scale before you commit to it. For example, you want to start a brick and mortar business like a nail salon. Kind of risky because you have to invest a lot just to get started. And, a business like that, like a brick and mortar location where you got rent, you got expenses, electricity, all that stuff, that is a bit more risky. That is a lot more risky. I recommend doing a service business. Provide a service for people because it takes a very little startup money and you are just trading your time for money essentially. So yeah, man, I encourage people. I have friends that want to start a business, that talk about starting a business, that are working jobs that they're not exactly passionate or even like. And I try to encourage them, like whatever, whatever you want to do, or you want to do a business, start it, test it out, do something, and the beginning is always the hardest. The start is always the hardest. There's the most resistance because you're going to feel like a fake. You're going to feel like you're not really who you present yourself to be. I felt like that. You know, when I first started going in and pitching businesses, I felt like a phony. I was like telling people I have a window cleaning business and I didn't have anything. I just had basic equipment. I was just, you know, you have to convince yourself, you know, and you will over time as you know, go over that phase of uncomfortability and not believing you are the person you present yourself to be. But you do it enough times and you start getting clients and you start getting work, you start getting paid. Now you're that person. You don't have to, you don't feel like an imposter because you're actually building something. So take a chance on yourself, man. Like whatever you want to do, YouTube channel, business, whatever, test it out, try it, you know, because thinking about it and ruminating on it is honestly the hardest part because it keeps you from taking action. And you're sort of in this analysis paralysis and you're afraid of failure, you're afraid of what people will think. Fuck all that noise. Shut all that shit out and just try. Just try, actually try though. Like tell yourself, commit to yourself that you're gonna genuinely try to do something, you know, and make something happen. And if you really try, if you genuinely really put in the effort to try something, it will most likely work, you know, eventually. You're gonna have maybe some challenges and some failures, but if you keep trying, you're eventually going to make something work. So that's my message today. I encourage you, if you're thinking about doing something else, you're doing something that you're not exactly happy doing, or, you know, you're not fulfilled in any way, you want more flexibility of your schedule, you know, consider doing your own thing. Consider starting a side hustle, a business, something, and try it. Maybe it will be something that you like to do much more. You know, it'll give you more freedom, more flexibility, and it'll be on your terms, you know. So that's the video today, guys. If you liked it, like the video, subscribe, and see you in the next one.